Bless up. Sorry about that. Bless up, bless up, bless up, bless up, man. I'm outside in the work vehicle again, so no intro music from Rock Kim or anything. It's just me, Troy Graham. So, you know, just want to wish everybody a blessed day. It's not as cold. It went up 20 degrees from 14 to 35 out here. So stay blessed and stay warm. And again, allow me to introduce myself. I am Troy Graham, and this is the Troy Graham Experience, the only conversation piece on social media. We don't just talk about boxing and what goes around with boxing. We speak on things that deal with life in general. I don't have any catchphrases that break down exactly what I do. Not yet. I'll create one, I guess, in time. But truth is, I like to talk more so than actually I like to listen because this way I have something to say. If you're always talking, you really don't have too much to say because you're not learning. You're just running off at the mouth, so to speak. Sorry about that. So I'm sitting in my car and I called my co-worker. Well, let me just keep talking. I'm gonna have to repeat this story once a few of y'all chime in. So it's a work day supposedly, but then I realized that it's a daggone holiday, Martin Luther King holiday, man. I had my boots on, my thermal socks, my long johns, my pants, my hoodie, my sweater, my lumberjack shirt, and then three shirts under that, plus Big Betsy here who don't play. See that? You can tell by the size of the zipper. This is a big old coat. I stay warm. I can't afford to get a chest cold. When you have a congestive heart failure, chest cold could kill you. So I don't mess around. What's in the cup, Troy? None of your business. None of your business. No, it's just lemon. Fast hands, almost spilled it. It was lemon water. That's it. Sometimes I put ginger in here and turmeric, but I didn't feel like going through that today. Well, I think this is about 3 cups. Yeah, I think it's about three. But yeah, so I'll just chill and wait for for the room to start filling up. But yeah, I had my whoops moment today where I actually could have stayed in bed. I was getting a good night's sleep too. Mm, real good night's sleep. And then pow, just nothing happened. I get out here, I call my coworker, I said, hey, I'll be there in 15 minutes to pick you up. He's like, for what? I said, we gotta go to work. No, we don't. It's a holiday, bro. You didn't get the memo? No, I didn't. I didn't get the memo at all. I got nothing. No memo, no nothing. So I got out of bed, took a nice bath, washed my hair, greased all up, and here I am sitting in the van, enjoying a conversation with the world. You know, some I can't see it, but I know there's somebody listening. A wise man once told me, every time you open your mouth, whether you see him or not, someone is listening to you. You know, gave me some great advice. ABW. What is ABW? Always be writing. But before that, he said ABR. I said, what's that? Always be reading. So just to shorten it, is ABRW. Always be reading and writing. This way you have something to say. Because you won't have anything to write if you don't read. Purpose and reason. People don't seem to understand that nowadays, but I do. I do. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm quite tired of hearing about Crawford's contract, man. That doesn't interest me too much overall. Once you talk about it 12 times, you kind of reach your limit, you know? So I'll chill for a little bit longer. I don't see anybody pop up in the next 10, 15 minutes, then I can exit stage left and go chill in the house. I mean, I got the day off, so I could go chill and come back at 7:30 p.m. with Major Key and boxing royalty, Prince Charles Williams, former light heavyweight champion. Great stories, boy. Great stories. Very good guy. I like talking to him. Very good guy. So we shall see. We shall see how that works out. But the more and more I do this social media, more and more comfortable I get with it. You know, once I get some of this cold off I got a little cold on my chest and so forth. My voice will be a little bit clearer than what it is now, and I can start projecting a little bit more. You know, because yeah, I'm not even at full strength yet with my voice. Yeah, so once that happens, that'll work out a little better for me and everybody else that listens to me. And I'm never going to be a extra hype guy. That's just not me. So if you're looking for rah, rah, that's just not me. I have my moments where I bust out laughing. What's up, Boxing Lounge? What's up, brother? I know I'm gonna get to 1 billion subscribers now. Boxing Lounge is here, and he brings the crowd. He's the UK. He's the brother from the UK, and he's A-OK. That was corny, but it worked itself out. What's up, Boxing Lounge? So yeah, yeah, Boxing Lounge. I was just letting the world know, I had my whoops moment of the day. It's Martin Luther King holiday to birth holiday today. So I get out of bed like I normally do. Take care of business, get dressed, call my coworker, and I'm like, I'll be there in 10, 15 minutes. He's like, for what? I said, to get you. He said, no, you won't, because we off today, baby. Oh, whoops. Whoops. Things happen though, Boxing Lounge. So you get to see my face for once. I'm usually behind the thing there, but I'm in the van. When I'm in the house, I'm private. I don't really like showing the house and all that because it's private. I'm in the van. Ain't too much. What can you see? You see outside. See outside. See what's out here. It's a bunch of houses or townhouses or whatever you want to call them. What do you call townhouses in the UK, by the way, Boxing Lounge? Are they I know flats or apartments, but what do you call townhouses or the little houses? Where are they? Like these that are connected to each other. What do you call them in the UK? Quarter cheese royale? No, I'm messing with you. Go ahead. Quarter cheese royale. It's funny. Quarter cheese royale. All right. But yeah, I'm curious. I got to travel more. This way I won't have to ask so many questions that may seem silly. But I definitely want to travel. But I'll be in the UK probably in next 2 years. God bless my soul to see my cousin. I have a cousin that lives there, old Nikki. And then from the UK, we're gonna go to Holland so I can meet her husband's family. I don't even know what type of food people from Holland eat. Houses that are glued or clued each other are called terrace houses. Okay, okay. Ah, terrace houses? And yeah, it doesn't inspire a lot of joy. But they go to link, man, if you want to jump on. I'm curious as to what's up, Phil Carl Roberts? Man with the three names like Philip Michael Thomas. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, man? Hey, listen, in the near future, brother, I don't want to ruin it, but I might have a a young lady coming on who loves animals, and she's going to be under the Troy Graham Experience banner. So look out for that, right? Hold on a second. Look out for that. Go ahead, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls all over the world. The Boxing Lounge, the latest and the greatest. How you doing, sir?
What's going on, Mr. TGE?
Man, well, I was supposed to be chilling at work, but there's no work today. They said I'm off. So I'm just chilling in the car, giving some time to the people, man.
So you're a man of leisure today.
Yes, I like the way you say that, leisure over leisure. Like
Leisure,
what?
that's not really, it just sounds odd, someone saying that in UK, leisure.
Yeah, you know what? I tell you what I love, man. I love, languages and hearing people from different countries give their take on America. Like Trevor, the African, he's from South Africa. And he's a comedian. He's very
Hmm.
light skinned because I think his father's European or something, right?
Hmm.
You ever heard of him? Trevor something, right? You never heard of him?
I've heard of a few Trevors, but I'm not sure if it's the same
Okay.
one.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. He's the host of the Daily Show right now. Trevor, somebody help me out with his name. Phil
When you
Call
say the Daily
somebody.
Show, what's that on YouTube, normal TV?
Oh
What's
my
that on?
gosh, no, that's a show over here. That's like a political satire show over here, right?
Okay.
And the guy's name was John Daly. I believe that's his name, but he left, and then the name stayed the same. But Trevor Noah, Trevor Noah, that's his name. You ever heard of him?
No, I'm drawing a blank. Sorry.
Okay, well he's South African, but when you look at him, he's very light skinned. He's not. He's when you look at him, you would think, yeah, he's definitely American. He doesn't look African. He doesn't look. He doesn't look like when you think of Africa, you don't think of Trevor Bryant. Let's just put it like that. He looks like
Okay.
not Trevor Bryant, Trevor Noah. I'm sorry. I'm trying to think of someone that you would know. That's a light skinned actor. Oh my God. Who who are the light skinned actors over there in England? The only person I know from England is Idris Elba, and there's a lot of other people passing as American actors, but they're really English. Help me out, man. Who yeah, who like
Actors,
the
actors.
top actors in the UK that come over here?
Uh, no, no, you can't put me under the pressure. Oh no, I need to do my research. That's not something
You
I can
don't
just
watch
do off the fly.
you don't watch TV that much, huh?
uh, not mainstream TV, no.
Okay. I tell you what, man, as a child I got into Doctor Who, and I can tell you when at 9 years old. That I even remember the first one with Tom Baker. Remember Tom Baker?
I'd need to see his picture again, but I'm sure
Wow.
because I watched it as a kid, but I can't remember the
Okay.
names.
Okay, well tell me your age group because I'm pretty much I got a feeling I'm way older than you. Well, tell me your age group.
Oh, you're not. You're not. I'm 44. Troy.
Okay, well I'm 50. Okay. But yeah, Tom Baker was the first doctor who had the scarf and all that in the trench coat and the afro. That was Tom Baker.
Right.
Right. And he was a time lord, just like all the rest of them, right?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
He was kind of quirky, whatever you want to call him. And he solved everything with his mind, but he did it in such a way that it was entertaining. And then me, as I got older, I realized something about the UK and TV. America makes movies based on the big stars and they write around them, right? The
Right.
UK writes stories and then they fit the stars into the stories. So it's really not the star that pushes the shows over there, but it's the story. And if the star can't carry the story, then it flops. But it's usually the story. That's why your series, see, like something like Doctor Who wouldn't work in America because there's no big bang and explosions and all that, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But in the UK, it works because you all like stories. You're still on Shakespeare time and all that. Yes, I read Shakespeare when I was 12, 13. I got into the Shakespeare, and I used to sneak off to the library because I love languages, right? What's the term for that? Boxing Lounge.
Linguistics.
Linguistics, yeah. From the age of 12, I realized that I was a linguistic, right?
Uh-huh.
So I just used to go and read Macbeth and everything else, right?
Yeah,
But you
yeah.
get,
I've read Macbeth.
yeah, you get punched in the
That was a
face a
hard
lot,
one.
though. Coming
That
up
was
in the
hard.
Bronx in the 80s, you get punched in the face a lot when you try and talk in old English and insult people. It just doesn't really, it don't really work
I,
out for
think
you,
it must go over their head.
It don't work.
Say,
Like,
say what?
yeah, you get punched in the face a lot, which is why I have this, sparkling personality. But yeah, so basically, I used to do that, and then I'm gonna take it back to Trevor Noah in a moment, right?
Hmm.
But I used to do that, and then uh, I realized, wow, I really like languages, so I just started reading French and Spanish. Didn't understand it all the way, so you know what I would do? I would go, I would go and watch the Spanish channels and keep the book that had the translations in them and try to keep
Hmm.
up with them, right? Because we had a Spanish channel in New York, and we had the martial arts movies, which were badly dubbed in English. So you could imagine how badly dubbed they were in Spanish, right?
Yeah.
It just moved a little faster. So you had one guy sounding like Scarface, like, let me introduce you to my swordplay. And it didn't jive with what was coming out the dude's mouth, right? So I'm there trying to thank God that somebody decided to create caption because I have my head down in the book and I'm looking at the TV, and by that time they moved to another scene, right? So that was me as a child. But take it back to Trevor Noah now. He grew up over there in South Africa, not South America, South Africa. And so when he was talking about America, he was like, how does LB represent pounds? And I've always asked that question. That's what that's what represents pounds over here, LBS. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why though? Why is that?
I
Is
don't
pounds
know. I'm
an
Jamaican.
acronym?
It just does. I don't know. I hope someone could jump on here.
LBS.
Maybe Phil Carl Roberts. No, I don't know, brother.
I'll tell you what.
I have no idea.
I'll Google it right now and tell you.
Yeah, and then he said he came over here and his friend was talking about yeah, well, I need to buy a battery or something. Or he said his uncle went to jail for battery, right? And he was like, wait a minute, your
Hmm.
uncle went to jail for having a battery? He's like, no. He was abusive to my auntie. He battered her. Oh, okay. See, when you say that your uncle went to jail for battery, I was thinking that it was just a whole little scenario he played out, right? Oh man, I take that call from my son. He's upstairs in my house and he's calling me. Funny guy. But yeah. And then it was the whole thing of he's never had a taco before. You ever had a
Hmm.
taco?
Hmm. Yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna send this cat a message,
That's right.
and I'm gonna sound low. Okay, can you still hear me?
Yeah, yeah. I can hear you.
Okay. Oh, that's right. I gotta take my son to work. I forgot. I forgot. I started the show and I totally forgot about the Bama. I gotta take him. That's why he's calling me. Hold on, let me text him back. Oh my God, let me text the Bama back. He just got locked the bottom lock. I let him know I'm outside, so all he has to do is just come outside. Okay, go ahead. Until he gets in here, I don't have to go nowhere except to the bathroom. But yeah, I
Okay.
forgot all about him. You know how they say God works in mysterious ways, so that's why I'm awake because I got to take him
Mhm.
to work by noon.
Okay,
Yeah,
as far as I can see, it's LB is just the symbol for writing pounds, or it was like an abbreviation, but I cannot see why it's LB.
because it don't make any damn sense.
It says
Just like
it's an abbreviation for Libra, Latin for balance or scales.
it don't make no sense. Just like so many things in life don't make any sense at all. It
Yeah.
just doesn't make any sense. Like your greatest monster or so-called killer over there is Jack the Ripper, right?
Probably, yeah.
Was he real or was he fictional? I'm still trying
No,
to
he
figure
was
that
real.
out.
He was real.
Anybody ever see him? Ever there was any real sightings of him?
Oh, do you know what? I haven't watched the documentary on it for a while, but I know he was caught, but I don't know if he escaped or not. I can't remember the details.
And there was no body ever found or anything like that.
Oh no, there was bodies found.
His body?
No, that's the thing. I can't remember what happened to him.
Yeah. Just like Hitler. Was his body? No, they never found no body. But he was known for killing what, ladies of the night, as they called them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they just couldn't figure out who was doing that?
And it was Hitler?
No. I'm saying with Jack the Ripper, they couldn't figure out who he was. And Sherlock Holmes is the one that's fictional, right?
Again, I don't know. I mean, you could ask me if Sweeney Todd is real. I think he is, but I'm not actually sure.
Sweeney Todd. Why that name sound familiar? Was there a movie made about him?
Yeah, there was. I think it was who's the Pirates of the Caribbean actor. I can't remember his name. He was a barber in London. Apparently, he had this fetish for just cutting his clients' throats.
Wow.
Yeah.
I saw one movie, and I was about one of the most violent prisoners in England. The same guy.
Bronson.
Yeah.
Charles Bronson.
Bronson, and that wasn't his real name, was it?
I think he changed it.
Yeah, he changed it.
Because of the American guy.
Yeah. And Charles Bronson wasn't Charles Bronson's real name either. Charles Bronson was the baby. This is for real. Charles Bronson is actually I forgot what he was, but he wasn't. His family wasn't American, and they were very poor. And he was the last of 15, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they sold him to another family for something, and he worked on a farm, and their family name was Bronson.
And so
that's how. Yeah, and that's how he got so big, because Charles Bronson was actually a very muscular guy when he was younger,
mm-hmm.
because he grew up on a farm. He did nothing but physical labor. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But he was always laid back, very laid back guy, Charles Bronson. Then as he got older, he got into those movies, Death Wish. And that's what he was known for, just violent movies, justified violent movies, until they just got kind of cheesy. You go outside and people are getting raped right in front of you, and that's not really, happening. Hey.
Well, plus, I think he made too many sequels as well.
Yeah, well, you only need 2. You only need 1 and a 2. You don't need. You're getting greedy with 3.
Death Wish 5.
Yeah, I mean, he would go outside to go buy, let's say, fish and chips. There's a lady on top of a car getting raped, and he's like, "Help me!" And everybody else is just passing by and putting their heads down. And it's a Sunday. And he would shoot the guy would fall out, and she would run. So all the other people just walk past watching her get raped in broad daylight, and nobody decided to call the police.
Yeah.
And then they walk into a bank and shoot everybody and walk out with the money. And again, nobody decided to call the police. But here comes Charles Bronson.
That's when Hollywood was like a cartoon, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, exactly, cartoonish, and not a lot of good writers and all that. I'm trying to think. There's another guy he was on The Wire with Idris Elba. He was English too, but his accent, he was flawless. Idris Elba, I knew he was English From the moment he opened his mouth, I knew he was English. I did.
Just he couldn't get rid of his sort of basic twang.
Yeah, I knew he was English from the moment he opened his mouth. I actually thought he was Jamaican English, but come to find out, he's African. His background is Nigerian and Ghana, I believe. I think that's where his parents are from. But yeah, and there's a whole
He's very
bunch
well
of
spoken. His use of the English language, I think, is very, very good when he's acting.
yeah. He's
I mean,
yeah,
have you seen him
he's a
in
very good
Rock and
actor.
Roller?
Yeah, he's a very good actor. The last thing I saw him in, I watched that movie about 5 times already. It's called The Harder They Fall. Did you watch that? It's on Netflix.
Sure I have.
Yeah,
I'll have
yeah.
to check. Maybe I have. Maybe I haven't. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, no. Tell a lie. Yes, because he's the bad guy, and he gets done over at the end. Yes.
Well, you have to watch it, man. I don't want to.
No. When I say bad guy, he's the protagonist, isn't he?
Yeah, you just have to watch it because his character has a lot of layers to him. He's not your average bad guy where he just goes around doing stuff. There's some layers to the man, and then
there's trauma there.
Huh? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the movie, he pretty much just was like, he does something, the worst thing you could do without doing anything. You know how you could actually hurt someone with just words and kill their spirit?
Yeah.
With the truth? Right. So that's what he does. He takes the hero and he says, well, basically, I killed your mother in front of you, which I'm not trying to ruin it for you. And then I did this and that to this and that to your dad. And then and I left you alive for a reason. Because I knew one day you would come after me. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he went about telling him the truth about who he was. And that broke that dude's heart. He told him the truth about who his father was too. And it broke his heart. And he said, that's a different layer of, those are the type of bad guys I like, not the ones that are obvious. The whole bloody and gore thing. There's no layers to that. No, it don't take any strength to write anything like that. Nothing. What kind of strength does that take? No.
Well, it's a low budget production if you're doing something like that.
Yeah.
There's no depth to it. And plus, you don't really have to have that good an actor for someone to play that role necessarily. You know what I mean?
No, you don't. But with this guy, he played. Well, both actors had layers to him. The so-called good guy and the so-called bad guy. All those actors were very good. They were there with a master, Delroy Lindy. You know what Delroy Lindy is? Older actor, and he's Jamaican. He was in Malcolm X, and he was in a lot of great movies. He's a great, great actor. He's the type of guy. I'm pretty sure you could tell me someone from England. He loses himself in every character. Even though you see the man, you don't see the man. You just see the character.
Can we hear the name again, Troy?
Delroy Lindo.
Delroy.
Yeah, Lindo is the last name.
Comes up in the second search. Oh yeah. He's been in loads of stuff.
He's a great actor, man.
He was in Core. He was in Core when they have to go to the core of the Earth. Okay,
I didn't see that.
It's actually pretty decent. What else was he in? He was in. What was there's a movie where I remember he was doing some sort of sacrifice on the floor, but I can't remember what the movie was.
I didn't see that one either.
But he's sitting in a pentagram, and I think he sacrifices a chicken or something like that.
Core. What's Core about? What's the movie Core about?
Core is about where the Earth's magnetic core stopped spinning, and as a result,
I saw that. I saw that one.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I quite like that. I thought it was half decent, that one.
Yeah.
If it's going to be anybody's blood, it's going to be my blood.
Yeah, I don't remember. You got to tell me the name of that movie so I can check it out.
Yeah, Core. Is this called core?
Is it?
Is
Yes,
it
yes.
core? Hold on.
That's when he melts. He has to go into the core because and he burns to death.
Yeah, it's core. Oh, sorry, it's called the core. Is it the core? Let
Yeah,
me just check the trailer.
and the dude who stole his work. I actually got to go on mute for a minute. Let me talk to this boy real quick, and I'll jump right back on. All right.
No probs.
In these lives is that life doesn't stop. You know that?
Mm-hmm.
It still goes on around you. And I wear entirely too much layers when I go outside. I got about 10 pounds of clothes on. But yeah, core is when he was a scientist, right? And he built a ship to take to the core of the earth, correct?
Yeah, and it has to go through layers of rock.
Yeah, a lot of diamonds. Right.
Yeah, it has
And
a
it's,
spinning drilling thing at the tip. The
right.
front
And
of
his
it, anyway.
partner, the guy that he was working with, stole his ideas, but he wasn't as competent as him. And he went to the core already and he caused some damage. Then he needed that was the premise of
Follow.
that was the premise of the movie.
He created a machine,
Right.
but I can't. But it didn't go to the core. It just stopped the core from spinning. But I can't remember
Something
what
like
the
that.
name of the machine was called.
Something like that. But yeah, his partner was a thief and he took
Yeah,
it.
took his
And
patents. Yeah.
yeah, but tell me about the one where he was being sacrificed or whatever.
Basically, because of the way that the ship was built, it was built in parts where if
Okay, yeah.
yeah, you remember now, where
Yes,
you
and
lose a
and
bit
and
if
he
it got
and he
damaged.
walked into the fire and he started to melt.
Well, it was a one-way trip. Once you went in, you weren't coming back out. So that's why everybody had to draw straws.
Yeah, it was one hell of a draw. Yeah. So yeah, and he came up short. So yeah, but I think he wanted to do it because he was pissed that they stole his idea. Let's start with that, right?
Yeah.
And he knew if they would have been successful, they probably would have killed him anyway, right? So he was going to die anyway. So, but he was in a lot of great movies, man. He was in a lot. Like he had I can't think of the name of the show he was on, but it was he was like he wasn't a politician, but he was a lawyer, I think. It was a law show. Yes, it was. It was a law show, and he was the head of a law firm, all black law firm, right?
Uh-huh.
And he would come on. He was hired to come on a news program to add what diversity. So the conversation of the day or the topic of the day on the show by the two conservative men was like, how come you all get to say the word nigga and we don't? Well, they didn't say the word. They just said, how come you get to say the N word and we can't say it? So this was live on air now, right? It was live on air.
Mm-hmm.
So, Delroy Lindy's character said, say it. Go ahead. Say it. He's like, no. You trying to set me up. He's like, no. If you feel that strongly about it, just go ahead and say it. He's like, no. He said, okay, allow me to help you. Say it. You feel that strongly, say it. And then the owner, they were about to cut the show, and the owner of the show was like, "Don't you dare cut this. This is great." He said, "Come on, you feel that strongly. Be bold. Say it." NIG. It was great. He was great in that, man. I wish I could remember the name of that series. It lasted about 3 years, and they finally went to the commercial because she told him before he went on air what the subject matter was, and she told him, "I want you to be you, but I want you to water it down some." So he looked at her like, "Oh, okay, so you want like a diet black man? You don't." So his character was very intelligent, right? So, and she was like, uh, "See, I don't want that." Oh, okay, okay, I got you. I'll be on my bestest behavior, man. So he gets, and she says, "I definitely don't want that." So he gets on air and he's just like, "Okay, why are you fighting yourself? Say it." And a great episode, man. Great, great damn episode. Yeah, I wish I could remember the name of the show. But yeah, but anyway, he's in the heart of a fall. He, you ever heard of the Long Ranger? I was
The
like,
Lone Ranger.
Lone Ranger. What did I say? Long?
Long, yeah, I think it's long.
Yeah, you ever heard of the Lone Ranger?
Hmm.
Okay. Well, the Lone Ranger, when it came out, it was a white man in a mask, correct? The reality of it was, what's the guy's name? Was Bass, something Bass. It was a black sheriff that it was based on, right?
Hmm.
And he captured the most criminal. I think he was a sheriff and also a bounty hunter as well, right?
Hmm.
He was the only man I think that ever brought in his own son. There was a bounty on his son because he murdered a lawman, right? And he went out and he arrested his own son, right?
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, you
In
sound
those
sound like
days,
you sound like you're breaking up. You're on a speaker or something. But go ahead.
oh no, oh, how about now? No,
Huh?
any better now?
N- no, you still sound the same, like you're talking through like a megaphone or something.
All right, let me back out and come back in again.
Okay, there you go. Now you sound better.
Right, I haven't changed anything.
It must have been me. It had to be
Okay.
me making a little short turn in his house. Okay, but go ahead.
Um, back then, would that have been the death penalty for the son?
Overall, yeah, he would have got the death penalty, and he did. He did, but he brought him in. Yeah,
That must have been difficult, to say the
uh,
least.
yeah, and he wasn't just known for that. He killed three men. He was known as one of the fastest gun in the West. Yeah, he killed 3 men. 3 men attacked him, and 3 men died. That's how fast he was. Yeah,
The speed and the strength of 3 men,
yeah, and he got to kill.
maybe even 5 men.
Yeah, he got to kill everybody. White people, black people. He was shooting everybody because he was employed by the U.S. government, and he would bring the dead bodies. He would always have a second horse, so he would just put the dead bodies on a horse and bring them back. Because you sometimes you'll get 5,000, 10,000 for a bounty, right?
Hmm.
What could you do with $10,000 back then, though? Wow, right?
Is that like per bounty?
Yes, per body. Dead or alive, because some of them were so heinous that they had a dead or alive on them, right?
So let me another quick question. If you're on the road and it's back then, it must be like very no, it must be suicidal to keep your money on you. So where did they keep their money back then?
On them until they got to the
Oh,
bank.
oh,
Until they
okay,
got to
okay.
the bank, yeah. They had these saddles, these things they put on the whole. There's some kind of they had pockets on the saddles or whatever. I wish somebody else was on here who could explain it better because I don't know too much
Mhm.
about that. But yeah, so they kept their money on them. I don't recall anybody ever getting paid in a check. It was just all cash, right? Straight cash, homie. But yeah, so he was, but I'm still wondering what could, how far did $10,000 go back then? Because you could buy acres of land back then for a couple of hundreds of dollars, right?
Well, maybe you want to buy the cowboys.
I don't, yeah, I don't know. But that term also was started because of black folk because they used to make us cap go capture all the runaway animals and stuff like that. And then somebody created that whole hog tying thing and said, and then of course they were calling us boys back then. So he's like, yeah, you a real cowboy. He would catch the stray cow or whatever, and that's how the name came about.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was never the bang
I
bang
didn't know
shoot 'em
that.
up you see him. Yeah, a cowboy was
So,
just a farm hand who had to go capture the stray cow or whatever, and they called him a cowboy after that. And you see how they tie their legs together and carrying on? Somebody black did that. That's somebody black invented that.
right,
And
right, right, right.
yeah, I just don't, I don't know the entire history of it because I did a little minor reading on that when I got interested in it.
Mm,
Then I stopped. Yeah,
mhm.
but just a lot of stories that I would like to, because you know what? Now that I said all that, the reason why I even really created this page is because there's so many things out there that I want to make sure they don't die. Like I really, just stick and stay around. I don't want to give myself away too much, but there's a lot of stuff that's coming up that people don't know about. Like when you think of martial arts and things like that, you think of Asia, right?
Mhm.
Not always true. Think of it. Martial arts is what? It's based on the spirit. You have the crane style, tiger style, and all these other styles. It's a spiritual thing. I think at one point Asia and Africa were connected before the tectonic plates separated or whatever. So maybe,
Well, I think a large part of the landmass was all connected at
yeah,
one point.
I think maybe martial arts actually started in Africa because I think Asia was the head of everything, and then everything. So, but I think it may have started in Africa, which I wish I could think of the real name of the country, but
Mm.
I can't. I
Well,
don't.
it's funny because the people in Thailand and the people in China they
Mhm.
disagree with you.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Why does the Englishman have the police going off and not the
Oh,
American?
oh, does that come from me?
Yeah,
Taxi,
I'm in the house.
taxi.
That's it. That's not a taxi. That's someone. Yeah, that's someone who didn't pay their taxi. He's getting chased by the police. I'm in my house. Ain't no damn police in here. I'll be some trouble. Shit.
The joys of living next to the road.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know what? I one of the like I said, there's a couple of places in life I want to go. I want to go to Nigeria, Ghana, Egypt, Brazil. The Bahamas, Virgin Islands, places like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And always my grandmother, she was with a senior group when she was alive. She went to Ireland, right? And she took all these. Yeah, and mind you, she's Jamaican, and she never lost her accent. She came over here when she was 60.
Mm.
So, you know, so she goes over there and she's like, you know what? I was like, what? Look at these pictures. So she had all these beautiful pictures. I don't know where they stayed, but it was beautiful, right? A lot
Mm-hmm.
of green and just beautiful stuff to see. She didn't care for the food too much, but you know, but she said the people that she was around were very friendly. But Troy, they sound like they're singing when they talk. I had to ask them to slow down, and they said the same thing to me. Can you imagine a Jamaican and a real born Irish person trying to hold a conversation?
Oh yeah, yeah, I could.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
That that's amazing. But people also don't know that the second largest group of people that's on the island of Jamaica are Irish.
Oh, I think you're talking about the sugar people.
That's
Is that right?
I don't know. I don't know the entire story. So go ahead. If you know something, you can inform me.
I looked at this maybe about 2 years ago, but apparently, I think it was called the sugar slaves. There was slaves taken from, well, basically all of the from island of Ireland, Scotland, England, and Wales. There were slaves of all types taken, all colours taken, and then they were taken to work on the sugar. The sugar. What was the term? It's not a
Plantations.
plantation. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And you see documentaries where it looks like someone's what's the term, mixed race, but they've
Yeah,
got like
yeah,
a
yeah,
real
yeah. Mm-hmm.
thick Irish accent on a Jamaican
Yes.
island, and I mean
Yeah.
super thick Irish accent, like old
Yeah.
school, like the
And
kind of accent that no one speaks anymore. It's that old.
okay,
Do you
then
know
you
what I
see
mean?
that same person like two. Then they have children. Then they have children's children, and you see them, and they have thick what Jamaican accents.
Hmm.
Yeah, I saw the documentary, man. I
Hmm.
saw it because that's where I learned, a little bit of information that I learned from that from that documentary over there. It was amazing to me to watch this Irishman that looks like. Give me an Irish actor, and I know Sean Connery is Scottish. So
Liam Neeson.
who?
Liam Neeson.
Oh, that's the guy from Taken.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Imagine him saying, "I have a certain amount of skills, and me I go find you, and when I find you, can you imagine?"
No, but you make it sound like a satire when you do it.
I know I do, man. I know. It was supposed to. Yeah, I'm picturing him now with dreads and everything. I and I going to come get you. You keep on talking, I and I will find you. I have a certain amount of skills by blessed to me by Jah. So I do not want that man coming after me, right? So yeah, but that's what you when you say that, that's what comes to my mind. That's what comes to my mind. Now, if I had the power and the money, I would write a movie with him and Denzel Washington, where he is the character from Taken, and Denzel
Hmm.
Washington is the Equalizer. And I believe they're headed in the same direction. But when they meet up with each other, there's a misunderstanding. So they have to do their thing against each other. The whole
Oh, so
like
like Batman v Superman kind of thing.
yeah. Yeah, and at the end, I'm gonna have Denzel whoop his behind. But yeah, it's gonna be a good fight. But Denzel gonna whoop his behind. And he's like, yeah, well, your certain amount of skills weren't enough. You got taken, Bama. You got
You get taken.
so that would be great, man. Because you ever notice that Denzel, who's a very peaceful soul, he plays those type of guys that they're troubled. If you look at his character, Man on Fire, and then you
Hmm.
look at the Equalizer, right?
Hmm.
Very, very troubled characters that it's best for you to be on good terms with them. Let's just say that, right?
Hmm.
Let's just say that it's best is in your best interest to be on good terms with those type of men, because people always believe the killer is always the loudest one in the room. The killer is the one that could blend into the room. He's not the loud one. He makes himself
I,
invisible.
I think Denzel plays the role where he gets triggered by an event or a trauma very, very well. He
Yes,
shows that's cool. You can see the whole nervous system lighting up when he's
yeah,
acting.
yes, yeah. I don't even call him an actor anymore after watching Malcolm and the Titans movie. What was the guy that he played from Africa? Oh my God, the
Give me
African
more than
freedom
that.
fighter. I wish I could remember the name,
Um,
but I can't remember the
or
name. But
when was it made?
oh, it was made in '80s, I think, '80s, early
Uh,
'90s, or late
uh,
'80s. Uh, but he
South
died.
Philadelphia, isn't it?
No, no, no. It was way before that.
God, I don't think I can remember
If you tell
before
me the
that.
name, I'll probably know it. He played. It's not. It's a modern guy, but I can't remember his name. Yeah, if you go under like Wikipedia and look at his movies, you'll start with 1989 or something like that, and then I could probably tell you because it was an English actor that took over the movie after Denzel character died in the movie, and I don't remember the English actor.
What decade do you reckon it was?
I think it was late '80s,
Okay, hold
late
on.
'80s, early '90s.
Okay, I'll go 1990 and I'll go older than
Okay,
that. So, Heart Condition, Glory, For Queen and Country, The
go
Mighty
up some,
Quinn.
go up. Mighty Quinn?
Yeah, that
No,
was
wow, okay.
1989.
Oh, okay, go up some in the '80s and see if
Uh,
you.
yeah, St. Elsewhere, and that was TV series. Cry Freedom, the George McKenna, no TV, Power, but that's in
I
1986.
think It's Cry Freedom. Who was the character that he
Freedom.
played? Because he played a real character in the movie.
What's it called?
Was it Cry Freedom? Did you say Cry Freedom?
Hold on, let me, because my eyes are hurting. Let me just do a Control F. Yeah, it was Cry of Freedom, 1987.
Okay, and what was the name of the character he played in there?
Steve Biko?
That's it. That's the one. That's the one right there. He got killed off in that movie. And who was the co-star?
One sec.
Yeah, because I think he was English.
Kevin Kline.
Because he's not English, is he?
I'm not, I think he's American. Hold on.
Name sound familiar.
Is he English or is he American? No, he's born in Missouri. He's American. So not him.
Yes, okay. I know who he is now, but yeah. Yeah, but that was the movie. That was the movie that I realized that he's really not an actor anymore. He's transcended. I, I like to say that he's a spiritual interpreter. Did you see Malcolm X, the movie?
Yeah, you asked me a couple of lives back. Yeah, I haven't seen it for at least a
Okay.
decade though.
Well, there was a scene in there which was actually a real scene, where Malcolm comes back from Mecca and they're asking him about Kennedy getting shot. And Denzel has his two fingers on his face, just like Malcolm did. And he turns to the camera and he says, well, when I was a farm boy, we had a term. It was called chickens coming home to roost. And when he did that, he was a spitting image and vocal sound of Malcolm X. He no longer was Denzel Washington. Even Spike Lee said when he did that scene, he was so scared because he didn't see Denzel anymore. He didn't see Denzel. Actually, he said he didn't see Denzel at all in that movie. Denzel was gone.
You just saw the
Only,
character.
yeah. Oh, I mean, even physically, it's like he
Mm-hmm.
opened up a spiritual door, and Malcolm X allowed Malcolm X to come in and just do the rest of the movie.
A complete persona change.
Yeah, like if you watch a guy now like Robert De Niro, he's a great actor. He's one of those guys you call what a method actor, right?
Mm-hmm.
He stays in character to the point where I've never gotten his characters confused. You basically know this character is not that character, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even when he's over the top in a movie like Raging Bull. I don't know if you ever saw that one. That's the movie about
Oh yeah, I've
Rocky.
seen that. I've seen it, but
Yeah,
again, that's been at least a decade since I've watched that.
because there was a scene in there where his wife was she was admiring the French champion that he was about to face, right? She was like, "Wow, he's very handsome, very handsome." And he's like, "Really, that guy, the French fucking, the French guy?" He's like, okay, you won't be fucking handsome after I'm done with it, right? And so he
You'll
goes
have a
in there
face
and
only
he,
a mother can love.
yeah, he goes in there and he beats. He don't even worry about anything else. He beats his face into a bloody mess to the point where they have to stop the fight. Then he turns and looks at his wife and says, "How he look now?" And she just was like, she shook her head like, "What is wrong with you? What is wrong?" Just like the story he tells about the Valentine's Day massacre with him and Sugar Ray Robinson, right? When Sugar Ray landed like 54 punches on him in 2 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, that's when
he's,
is that when he held onto the ropes and wouldn't go down?
yeah, he was stone cold drunk. He said, "Yeah, I didn't really train for that fight, but I wasn't gonna let him knock me out. So I just got drunk." What?
Well, he was drunk when he got into the ring.
Yes, he was drunk. He already took he
That's
already
even
took
worse.
the he
Whoa.
already peed and weighed in, so he was just like, I was just walking around drunk. Nothing. He couldn't put me down. He stood on the ropes, and then the fight was stopped eventually, and we could see Ray fanning him off, and he followed him. He's like, Ray, you didn't knock me down, Ray. You didn't knock me down
Yeah, I remember
because
that.
he was pissy drunk. Not,
But
but
he
his
wasn't the same fighter after that beating, if I remember correctly.
nobody, but the man that he lived to be in his late 90s, almost 100.
Mm-hmm.
He was 100% man. He wasn't nothing to play with. He probably chopped down trees with his bare hand or something. The dude was just what he was, you know? He's from the Bronx, so I had to like him. He was
Yeah.
just, I seen all his interviews, and of course they would tell me ahead of time not to cuss, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you wasting your time? Why are you wasting your time telling them not to cuss? Just don't put him on live, you know? Don't put him on live air. We gonna cuss. Him, Ali, Willie the Wisp. Help me out. You know who I'm talking about. Willie.
Pep? No,
Willie
who?
Pep. Great interviews that I used to watch. Willie Pep survived the plane crash where everybody else died. So they asked him, were you scared when the plane crashed? He was like, not really. And he was like, why? He said, well, I got 5 ex-wives. I'm more worried about them.
I've been through worse.
Yeah, yes. Now he said something to the extent it probably would have been better for me if I have died because now I still got to pay all that alimony. So yeah, it's crazy. I'll tell you a little bit of history if you don't know it. Who was the only man to beat him in the amateurs?
Oh, that I couldn't tell you.
Some guy by the name of Walker Smith, or some guy by the name of Walker Smith. The name sound familiar?
He wasn't a Texan, was he?
Nah, that was Sugar Ray's real name. It's Walker Smith or something, or is it Smith Walker? I always get it confused. But
Oh,
yeah,
sorry, that was a very subtle. Christ, what's his name?
mhm.
Chuck Norris joke.
Yeah. No, but that's his real name though. That's Sugar Ray's real name was Walker Smith or Walker something,
Oh.
right? So they were looking for someone to fight Willie because his opponent had pulled out. So Walker couldn't fight because they said he was too young and he was available, but he was 30 pounds heavier, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they were like, put him in there anyway. Willie gonna beat him anyway, right? So they put him in there and Ray outboxed him. And then they stopped the fight. They were like, you didn't tell us you were a pro. He's like, I'm not a pro. And
Not
that's
yet.
how he got yeah. And Sugar Ray was 85-0 in the amateurs. 85-0. Yeah, a lot of miscellaneous information I have, but let me go take this young man here to work, man. Always a pleasure speaking to you, man. But
Likewise,
you know what?
Troy.
You might actually be asleep when we do the interview, but we're doing the interview tonight, Major Key and Prince Charles Williams. But it's going to be 12:30 a.m. your time, 7:30 p.m. our time, right? And it's going to be over
Maybe.
on. It's going to be on a Major Key page, not mine. So I'll put it up again so everybody can see it. But let me tell you something. I talked to him twice already. Prince Charles Williams.
Mhm.
And the stories that man has is going to be definitely worth your time. That and his subtle way of just handling himself.
All
And guess
right.
who one of his close friends is?
Who?
Michael Nunn.
Michael Nunn. Was he?
There it is
What
again,
weight was
sounding
he
like
at?
a speaker.
What division was Michael Nunn in?
I can't understand you. And it's not me this time because I didn't move. Hold on I'm going to go on mute and you go ahead and say something.
Okay, yeah. Michael Nunn. What division was he? Did he box at?
No, it doesn't sound any better when I go on mute either. But again, man, thank you for coming out, man, and thank you also, Philip Robert, Philip Carl, Philip Robert. Wow, Philip Philip Carl
PCR.
Roberts. There you go. There you go. You sound better. You sound
I
better.
don't know. No idea. Anyway, no problem, Troy. I'll catch you in another one. All right. Peace out.
Yeah, man. I'll be on twice a day probably for the rest of the week. I'm just trying to build up just trying to be more consistent, man. I have to. I'm learning how to be more consistent, and then once I do that, I could be a little bit more focused with the conversation. Even though we usually have good conversations, you, me, and
Yeah.
anybody else that pops up on the line, because the spirit takes you where the spirit takes you.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I look at it. Because I really don't want to be put in a box and be like, well, A, B, C is how you're going to work. No, I'm not. No, I'm not really at all.
Okay.
Really not going to do that. But all right, brother, you take care.
All right. Take care, Troy. Bye.
All right. And bless up to everyone that listened and bless up to everyone that showed up. It has been another episode of the Troy Graham Experience. I mean.